There's no one here.
Indeed.
I don't see So or his bodyguards.
I do not detect them either.
Let's go inside. Hey, Aiba. Do you smell something funny?
You are aware that I do not possess the sense of smell, correct?
Alright.
Oh, right. There's something strange about this vase. Ugh.
Bolted shut.
What is it?
This is definitely where the smell is coming from.
Is there something inside?
Maybe,
Oh, God.
but the opening is covered by a metal plate.
The lid is
Why does
fixed
it
with
smell,
a bolt.
though?
It will not open easily.
Yeah.
Then,
Break it.
as is standard procedure...
Oh! That's So's body parts. So they kidnapped Aiba, went to So's place, chopped him up in little pieces, and then took her eye out, and then tried to kill her. He took, or they, I don't know who it is, it's probably boss again, I don't know. And they took the old lady's knife and used it. That's what I'm thinking.
What the?
Date, destroy the vase!
Got it.
No, don't destroy it, that's gross. Just, oh. Ugh. How did it get? How did that head get through that little hole? I mean, I guess it was a bigger vase than I thought it was. Ew!
That is the head of So Sejima.
Left eye is hollowed out.
This is most likely a crime committed by the new Cyclops killer.
That's gross. Cut into pieces. Ugh. What now? Okay, a chair, yes. More body parts? No.
Do you have an estimated time of death?
Today, sometime between 11 a.m. and noon.
Why would it smell so bad if it was?
That's about when I was talking to Ota at Matsushita Diner.
Okay,
At
so
that time, Mayumi was in police custody and Iris was in the ICU of Central Hospital.
okay, so he didn't die
They have
last
not
night.
moved.
So
That means Ota, Mayumi, and Iris couldn't possibly have committed the crime.
no.
Assuming that this is the work of a single killer, those three can be eliminated from the list of suspects.
Ota, Mayumi, and Iris are not the new Cyclops killer.
Right.
So he might still have something to do with Iris's kidnapping, but unlikely.
By the way, why is there no one in the mansion? No bodyguards, no housekeepers.
I do not know.
Does So have family?
So Sejima's wife died in labor 30 years ago, giving birth to their son. Their son is currently living abroad.
So, lived here alone?
Do you find that suspicious?
No, just...
Date, a call from Pewter.
Connect me.
No, that was in a different timeline,
Date,
Chris.
the sync machine is up and running. You can sync with Mayumi now.
Oh, thanks, Pewter. But there are more pressing matters now.
Did something happen?
Yeah, I found So Tsujima's body, with the left eye hollowed out.
What?
I'm at the Tsujima household. Send the investigation team over.
Why so?
I can answer your questions when I get back to Abyss.
Got it.
Date, what is your plan? Wait until crime scene investigation arrives?
No, there's something I need to do. If that taxi driver was telling the truth, Mayumi was at the warehouse yesterday.
Yep.
And we know the chocolate we found at the scene was hers. Maybe she saw something. Maybe she knows something we don't. Some kind of clue or information about the culprit.
Then...
Yeah, we're gonna sync with Mayumi.
Don't say it was Hitomi. Or something. I don't know.
Date, a large-scale investigation of So Tsushima has already begun. At this very moment, the media is already swarming outside the building.
Really?
But how did they find out?
Doesn't matter. The sync is what's important.
Investigation hasn't
If
even
we sync into Mayumi's brain,
like made it.
that might help us find the real culprit.
I understand. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Then, let's begin.
Where am I?
Where is this?
Hmm.
Oh, silly me. This is my house. Huh? What happened to me?
Oh.
This is Matsushita Diner, though it looks odd. Likely an effect of the dementia.
Then we need to help remind her.
Do you think such a thing can be done?
This diner means everything to Mayumi. If we do what we did last time and reproduce the actions from Mayumi's memories, we could help her remember everything.
Is this what you call your intuition?
Told you it was useful.
Well, if we must. Somnium scan! Activate!
Dang. Reproduce Mayumi's past actions to invoke her lost memories.
A swinging door that leads to the kitchen.
I want to come over here.
Ota, come over here. Ota? Ota, a girly magazine came in the mail. Is this for Ota or for Dad?
Well, this is awkward, but there's no reaction.
I tried my best.
Let's investigate something else.
Agent Date, you've got 5 minutes.
Calendar. The calendar reads 2 months ago. A wall clock. The hands have stopped.
Oh.
The sliding door at the entrance. Who could that be? We're closed today.
They're not leaving.
I suppose they are not a regular customer. The sliding door at the entrance. Who could that be? Get out of here!
They aren't going away.
They're not from a collection agency. The sliding door at the entrance.
Agent Dante,
Who could that
you've got
be?
4 minutes.
Damn.
A calendar.
I have to do this so that
The
it
calendar
doesn't
reads
take all my timey for here.
the sliding door at the entrance. Who could that be?
Welcome.
Welcome! Come on in!
Why did you say it like that?
Oh, they're not a customer.
Ah, damn it. Of
The
course.
sliding door at the entrance.
Last one I choose.
Who could that be? Welcome back.
Welcome back, Ota. You're late
Okay.
today.
I'm home.
Are you not hungry? Today's dinner is omelet rice. Your favorite. Dad isn't back yet, but you can start eating.
Again? I'm okay. I ate already.
But,
I'm fine.
Ota, wait! Ota?
Such a dick. Okay, that took a lot of time. I'm not gonna have
Part of
enough
the
time.
diner has manifested.
Should
Maybe this
start
is one
over.
of the memories she forgot. It must be important to her, though.
It looks like a sad memory.
Doesn't matter if it's sad. It's still important.
You have 3 minutes, Dante.
Oh?
It's the phone. Maybe try picking it up?
Roger.
To order? Or to go order? Oh.
My husband.
Yes, Matsushita Diner. Yes. Well, yes. Yes. What? My husband! Why? How could this happen?
The diner has changed again. However,
These memories aren't all happy, but they are all significant.
if this continues, will it not have a negative effect on Mayumi?
Maybe. But we have to see this through. We have to.
Understood. A delicious cake.
I wonder who it's for.
Congratulations, Ota!
I'm home.
Ota! Congratulations on getting into the university, son! Congratulations!
Hooray! Congrats!
Hooray! Hooray!
His dad is so out of style from
Ota
all
was
of the rest
quite
of the
the
characters in
spoiled
this
child,
game.
wasn't he?
He definitely had a lot of growing
Looks
up
like
to do.
something from a weird
But
comic
that's what
strip
makes
in
him
the
so important to Mayumi.
papers.
I see.
You have less than 2 minutes.
A bucket.
Hurry.
Delicious. Ew. Let's wear it. What? Shoo. Delicious. Envelope.
It's an envelope. Some kind of mail?
It's probably a bill.
This is a bank statement. The Matsushita family's loan. Let's do our best.
Takaro.
We have to keep supporting Ota.
Okay. We'll work harder for Ota's dream.
We reproduced another painful memory.
No, not quite.
Are you certain? Mayumi was under a heavy burden of debt and stress running the diner.
That's true. But sometimes hardship is worth it.
Is that so? It's a sticker from a chocolate candy.
Welcome home! Did you get it for me?
It?
This is Ota when he was small?
Do you mean chocolate?
Yeah, Todoroki man, remember? Oh, that! Yes! Of course I bought it! Look, the Momonoke Man chocolate that you like! Here you go. That's not it! Oh, honey, I thought you liked the Momonoke Man chocolate. No, I told you! It's Todoroki Man! Oh... Sorry, your
what a
mom can
dick.
be such a dummy sometimes. You're not just a dummy, you're a super dummy idiot!
Wow.
Oh, well, you're right, sweetie. I'm sorry. I'm a big dummy.
Don't let him
I'll
walk
buy you
all
a
over
real
you.
Momonoke
Jeez.
Man soon.
So
Stupid.
mean.
It's not Momonoke Man, it's Todoroki Man! I
Wow.
hate this! I hate you, Mom!
Wow. No, it wasn't because of
What?
that.
Wait, Ota! Where did you
She
go?
just isn't a fan of it, so she doesn't think about it.
Please, come out from hiding, Ota! Ota, I'm sorry. Mommy won't make any mistakes anymore, Ota.
Oh, God.
Ota! Come back! Ota!
Oda. You were such a butthead all the way since then.
Takaro, don't leave me. Don't leave me alone. I am sorry, Ota. Ota! Takaro, I can't do this on my own. Don't leave me!
So that's what happened.
Date, look at what you've done. If Mayumi wakes up after all this trauma...
I know it's risky, but we're here for a reason.
What are you planning?
We have to keep going. Just a little more to awaken her past.
But...
If she loves her family this much, there has to be something. There has to be a precious memory hidden deep within.
Is that your intuition?
It is.
A wall clock.
Her mind went back in time to keep herself sane, but in doing so, caused the dementia.
Ota, sweetie. Mom, I... Huh?
We know we can be a hassle sometimes, so... Huh, Ota.
Yeah. Thank you, Mom. You know, I love you forever and ever. Me too, Ota.
Duh.
I love you both so much. I'll love you both no matter what. Oh, forever and ever. Oh, I'll never forget this. Oh.
Yeah, we are a family. We can do anything.
Yes. Yeah.
Looks like it's okay to go back now.
Yes, I agree. By the way, Date.
Hmm?
I admit, it is useful every now and then.
What is?
Your intuition.
Your intuition.
And I still had time left. I thought I wasn't going to make it there.
Ota, I'm so sorry for worrying you.
What do you mean?
Your mother retracted her confession.
I'm so glad.
Yes, yes.
But Mom, why did you think I did it?
About that.
Explain to Oda. On Sunday night, Mayumi was following the van driven by Oda in a taxi. But when the van was hijacked in the Famisho parking lot, Fumisto, Mayumi was at another convenience store nearby buying some chocolate. Because of that, she didn't see what happened. That's why Mayumi thought Oda was still in the van when it drove away. So she kept following it. The van drove all over Tokyo and eventually wound up in the warehouse district near the docks. Mayumi got out of the taxi and followed the van on foot. The van was later found at the Okura Fishery cold storage warehouse. Mayumi walked into the warehouse and discovered the grisly scene.
A polar bear plucking out Iris's left eye? I was so terribly frightened. I panicked and ran. I'm sure that's when I dropped the chocolate. And I ran away from the warehouse as fast as I could. I just kept running and running. But while I was running, I had a thought. Maybe that polar bear was Ota. Because at the time, I thought Ota was the one driving the van. If Ota brought Iris to the warehouse, then Ota must have been the one in the suit. That's what I was thinking anyway.
So that's why.
I'm so sorry that Mom doubted you, Ota.
No, I understand. It's my fault for making you worry.
Ota.
Thank you for the
But
hydrate.
there's one thing I don't get. Why did you buy that chocolate when you were following me?
Oh, because...
You liked Todoroki Man chocolate when you were young, right, Ota?
Yeah. I was like the number 1 or 2 collector of the stickers in my elementary school class. I stuck some of my duplicates all around the diner, too.
You and Mayumi have strong memories of that chocolate, right?
Yeah. But I guess they're not all sweet memories. They're like chocolate, you know? Bittersweet. Makes my heart hurt a little.
That's not it! Oh, honey. I thought you liked the Momonoke Man chocolate.
No! I told you! It's Todoroki Man!
Oh. Sorry, your mom can be such a dummy sometimes.
You're not just a dummy, you're a super dummy idiot!
Oh, well, you're right, sweetie. I'm sorry. I'm a big dummy. I'll buy you a real Momonoke Man soon.
Stupid! It's not Momonoke Man, it's Todoroki Man!
After I yelled at her, Mom immediately went to buy me another chocolate. My dad came back from buying some ingredients at the same time and they ran into each other. My dad really let me have it.
Good. Yo, big butthead.
How dare you speak to your mother like that?
Because Mom is stupid!
You're stupid to call your mother stupid. Your mother bought you that to make you happy. You need to think about how she feels. I didn't raise you like that.
But...
When she comes back, you apologize. Do you understand?
My dad told me to apologize as soon as Mom came back. But the guilt... I hurt my mother, you know? That guilt in my heart, it didn't go away. Even after I apologized to her.
You were still
After
a dick
that,
after that, too.
Things got awkward with Mom. But a few days later, my dad came up with an idea.
Hey, Ota, how about this? You know Mother's Day is coming up. Why don't we get a gift for your mom, hmm?
A gift?
That was the first time I had ever heard my dad say something like that.
You know how Mom always takes care of us. We should think of a way to pay her back.
I'm sure my dad was trying to clear the air between all of us.
If I said anything remotely similar to my mother, I'd be underground by now. And so you smack the kid upside the head and be like, shh, watch your mouth, don't be talking like that to your mom.
So, on Mother's Day, I used my New Year's money I saved up to buy my mom that flower knife. And my dad saved up a little money to buy the floral apron. And when Mom got her gifts, she started bawling. Like full-on crying.
Oh, you boys. I don't deserve all this. Thank you, thank you.
Don't say that.
You do deserve it, Mom. I'm proud that you're my mom. Right, Dad?
Oh, yes, Mom is the best mom in the world.
Thank you. Thank you.
Say cheese!
That's why the dad didn't have any eyes, because his
Sorry,
eyes are tiny little
I lost track of time.
pinpricks.
What were we
And he
talking about
closed
again?
them.
The Odoroki
Just his
Man
big
chocolate.
forehead.
Why she bought the chocolate in the middle of tailing you.
Tailing?
Mom,
It could be due to her memory disorder. It is possible that her thought process was once again short-circuited.
Ota, I'm just going out on a limb here.
huh?
Earlier I looked inside Mayumi's head.
Inside her head?
She was thinking of nothing but you. Her head was full of memories of you. Mayumi just wanted you to come back, Ota. So she bought that chocolate. The chocolate you loved as a kid. She thought she could get you back home with it. That's why I believe, in Mayumi's head, you're still young, Ota.
Huh?
I don't know. I could be wrong.
No, you're right, Date. That's why my mom bought the chocolate. She wanted her little kid back.
What happens now?
I was always so selfish. I made my mom go through such hard times. So from now on, I'm going to support her the way she supported me. I'll do anything. I'll deliver newspapers or be a janitor or anything. I'll work as hard as I can to make sure my mom can rest easy.
Good.
What about your dream of being an author?
Well, of course I'm not gonna give up on that. But I'll set my sights a little smaller. I'll start by writing a short story.
Let me read it when you're done.
Of course.
Oh, I forgot to tell you something important.
Something important?
I heard the nurses talking before I came in here. Iris is awake.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, she's due to be transferred from the ICU to the general ward.
Thank God.
You saved her life, you know. Maybe, just maybe.
Huh? Maybe what?
Nothing. See you, kid.
Is Iris your girlfriend?
Oh.
Yeah, I'll introduce you next time. She's a great girl.
Aw.
Oh my, I'm looking forward to it. Is she going to be your financier? Oh, maybe I should clean up a bit first.
Financer? Oh, fiance.
Oh, yes! Yes, that's it!
Jeez, Mom.
Chocolate.
Date, there are still many loose ends in this investigation.
Indeed.
Yeah, you're right. Looks like another all-nighter.
Ain't no rest for the wicked. Oh. That's the Oda ending. Oh god, 24 hours of me, what are you gonna do? You're gonna be here for an hour and then run. Alright. After credits scene. I never knew I needed it. Sunday. Police headquarters. What do we got here?
Has there been any progress in this Jima investigation?
None. Zero clue.
Not exactly. We have 2 clues.
2?
2 points
Dos.
of information. But they may not connect directly to the murders.
What are the 2 clues?
Point 1. This may be easier to see than explain. I sent a video to the boss's PC. Could you check there, please?
Boss went to her desk and moved her mouse. I stood next to her and looked at the monitor.
What's this?
It's from Sunday night.
Yes, after Date was beaten by Ota at Matsushita Diner.
Tessa, wait! I'll get the car.
Right.
You
Hello, mother.
witch!
Thank you.
There, stop it. I noticed this earlier as well. Do you see the walk on the floor beside Iris and Mayumi?
Yeah, what about it?
Look closely. The bottom part is curved. Do you notice anything in the reflection?
Iris and Mayumi.
Yes. I have prepared an enlarged and processed version of the image.
Process.
Boss, the next video.
Enhance.
Witch!
Oh.
You stay away from my boy!
Tessa! What's wrong?
What?
Did something happen?
No, everything's fine.
Okay, let's go.
What?
Ota.
Hey, what's this?
Iris has the kitchen knife?
The video continues, but this should be enough. Iris took
So
the knife and
that-
left the diner with Ota.
That's how they
But
got
if
the knife
Ota's
in.
testimony is true, the polar bear had the kitchen knife.
Maybe it was taken off of Iris when she was kidnapped.
Mm.
At the Femisto parking lot?
Mm.
Whatever, we can think about it later. You said you had 2 clues.
Yeah, what's the other one?
I have learned new information. More thorough autopsy results of Renju's body have revealed something. An object in his intestines.
An object?
A clump of organic matter. Because it was partially digested, it took significant time to analyze.
Well, what was it?
Dots.
Shoko Nadami's eyeball.
Oh! Ew! Yo! Yo! Ugh. That's gross! Yo! What the hecky? Ugh. Ah! Gross! Oh! I unlocked! Hitomi's route. Son of Beach! Begin investigation. Okay, where were we previously for this? Okay, that was when we found her body. Okay, after doing all this. Okay, this was after we followed her instructions. And instead of saying that she was being irrational, we fed into it. And then we went and then Ota tased me. And then when you didn't follow her instructions, she escapes because you're stupid, and you leave her at the dining at the Matsushisha diner or whatever with Oda, and she sneaks out and ends up in the goddamn freezer anyway, dead. And I think that's what this was. After speaking with Iris, Date couldn't bring himself to believe her apparent delusions. Yep. Even so, since she was still in danger, Date took Iris to Matsushita Diner. Date headed to the Sagan residence, leaving Iris and Oda in Mizuki's care. Hitomi told Date that Iris had a brain tumor and will soon take her life. Iris's strange ideas were apparently the result of the tumor. Mizuki called Date in distress, claiming that Iris ran away. Looking for Iris, Date headed to the cold storage warehouse. Date discovered Iris's frozen corpse. Okay, so that's where this one leaves off after finding her body. Guess someone wanted to put her on ice. They've been wanting to put her on ice since the beginning of this game. Like, every time she died, except one time where she ended up dying in the facility where the prototype Dream Sync machine was. All the other times, she died in the freezer. Right, let's do it. Apparently, they wanted her to chill. Let's do it! Harbor Warehouse District. Dun dun dun.
Have you settled down? The scene is being inspected without you. This time the body didn't disappear. However, you lost consciousness. I didn't expect you to faint. Seeing that corpse must have been incredibly shocking. I did not predict you to be the fainting type. I suppose humans are unpredictable. Now that you're back, let's get back to business. You are conscious, are you not? Are you at a loss for words? Date, don't let negative thoughts consume you.
Kinda can't help it.
Iris died because of me. If I never took her to Ota's, this wouldn't have happened.
Well, I mean...
If you truly believe that, then your brain is completely rotten. Or perhaps when you saw the corpse, your head became filled with images of blooming yellow dandelions.
What?
What?
Oh, you're talking now. Was I correct? If you
No.
consider the situation logically, even an elementary school student would understand.
Huh?
Fine. Allow me to pluck some of those dandelions from your mind. I will ask 3 questions. Please answer honestly. First question. The cold storage warehouse was not in regular operation. But even so, the AC was on, and a minus 58-degree temperature was
It's always the
maintained.
same one.
Why is that?
Why does the warehouse have to keep at freezing temperature? The warehouse is being used.
Why? For what purpose?
To preserve something.
To preserve something.
Yes. Let us move on to the next question. Second question. There was something strange about the corpse. Do you remember what that was?
The eye.
That is a unique factor. But there was something else, something more peculiar.
It was covered by a cloth.
What is unnatural about that?
Why would
Isn't
they?
it
Why would
strange?
they strip her of her
The
clothes?
culprit hid the body because they didn't want it to be found. But then they cover it with a cloth? That implies they thought that someone would eventually find it.
But do you know for a fact that the culprit hid the body? And even if they were responsible,
They
it's
didn't
not
strip the
uncommon
clothes
that
off of any
murderers
of the
feel
other
some
people.
urge of remorse or pity for their victim.
So the cloth was a sign of pity?
That is a possibility.
Why did they take her clothes off, though? They didn't take clothes off of any of the other victims. Why is it always her?
Iris's body was completely frozen. The temperature read -58. With Iris's weight... Just wondering, but how much do you weigh?
Don't you know it's rude to ask a lady that?
105 pounds.
I see. 105, huh? It should have taken about 18 hours to freeze solid. But we were...
Wait a moment. Before you draw your conclusion, allow me to ask my final question. Question 3. 2 days ago, Sunday night, you found a dead body in the cold storage warehouse. But afterward, you visited the Sagan household and discovered that Iris was in fact still alive.
I mean, first of all, if she just escaped Mizuki and Oda, and then within a couple of hours, all of a sudden, she was completely frozen solid and missing an eye. Like, even if you put like a slab of meat in a freezer, a couple of hours it's not going to freeze it solid. So for an entire body to lose all of its heat and be frozen absolute solid in just a matter of hours, that's kind of effy. I'm pretty sure that it's the same body that he found before, but they just hid it in the machine.
Why?
Iris is actually dead. You mean...
You mean?
You've got it.
Is it fake? I'm surprised they never took it out. There's no bones. Anything.
I don't believe it.
It looks
The
fake.
stomach is swollen slightly. She appears to have been pregnant.
What?
How?
Do not worry. The uterus does not contain a fetus.
You mean after she was killed?
No. The fetus was not present in her body when she was killed. She must have been killed after giving birth. The distended stomach does not immediately shrink after birth.
But
The
still,
extended uterus takes some time to
there's
return to its
no
normal
way
size.
she could have been in any kind of term without showing any signs being as thin as she was. That's not possible.
This evidence makes one thing perfectly obvious.
This corpse isn't Iris.
Yeah.
It's someone else.
Which means...
Just made to look like Iris?
Iris is still alive.
Not necessarily.
Maybe.
She could be alive.
Right.
We haven't confirmed that yet. Multiple stab wounds with a single-edged, sharp object to the victim's back. Judging by the size and shape of the marks, the weapon was most likely a kitchen knife. This
So
matches
it's a
what
kitchen
you
knife.
said on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the body I saw then.
Mm-hmm.
Iba, who is this?
Unknown.
Unknown. There's no facial recognition.
Is there an
in
estimated time of death?
all your
Impossible
tech?
to determine. This body has been completely frozen for at least 10 years.
10 years!
10 years? She was killed more than 10 years ago?
Exactly.
That would make Iris like 7.
Her identity is unknown. Her killer is also unknown. But there is one likely suspect.
But the eye is
Who?
missing.
Let's consider the clues. The scene. Okiura Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse. Sunday night, we saw So here.
Mm-hmm.
And there is something else about So Sejima. We witnessed someone similar to Iris being stabbed repeatedly in So's Somnium.
That's similar. It's literally wearing
But
with
it
the
wasn't
same
Iris.
outfit
It was
and
this
everything.
woman.
That is highly likely.
What we saw was So's memory from more than 10 years ago.
So did it.
I
10
believe
years
that is the
ago.
case.
Or watched somebody do it 10 years ago.
Renju and So?
But we still do not know where Renju is.
That means that we need to talk to...
Hitomi.
So Sejima.
Hitomi. Is Iris this chick's kid? No. No. Because she's 17. So she died 10 years ago after giving birth. She wouldn't have a swollen stomach 7 years later. So. Because I mean, like, Hitomi doesn't have pink hair. But I don't know what her father looks like. I'm confused. Ah! Back to So. Are we gonna find him chopped up into pieces and stuffed in a jar this time? Or is he gonna be alive? Zuki and Oda kept searching for Iris, but unfortunately they didn't turn up anything. Iris's whereabouts are still unknown. I'm worried about her, but without any leads, we'd just be looking for her blindly. I should focus on the investigation for now. It had been pregs from mob boss that she was seen with. Who was seen with? Because the Iris lookalike wasn't seen anywhere. Hitomi? Hitomi was only seen... if you're talking about number 89, Iris was already born before she met number 89. So she's not his dad. Or he's not her dad. Because she called him uncle when him and Hitomi started hooking up. I should focus on the investigation for now. It will eventually lead me to Iris, I'm sure of it. With that in mind, I headed to So's mansion. Hey, he's alive!
I thought I told you. Never to show your face here again.
Shut your mouth. I'm tired with you. Question!
I didn't come here for Shoko today. I didn't come here for Iris either. Instead, I'm here for a girl who looks like Iris. Did you kill her?
Date, look.
You know he's not gonna answer.
I knew it. You killed her, didn't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know he's not just
I've had
gonna go
enough
up
of your
straight
shit,
saying.
Congressman. You wanted to check on the body of the girl you killed. That's why you were at the cold storage warehouse 2 days ago.
Why did you pull her eye out, though? Before you killed her, 10 years ago. You preserved her body
Where
so
is
well, but
Renju
you didn't clean
Okiura?
out the blood?
You know where he is, don't you? You were at an Okiura fishery warehouse for a reason. There's definitely a connection between you two. And that's not all. Number 89 called your secretary. The same number 89 that Renju escaped with. Now tell me, where is Renju?
Suddenly. Bodyguards? Yep, a gang of bodyguards stormed out of the mansion. In an instant, they surrounded me.
We'd like to ask you to please leave.
Dots.
Damn it, So!
There's nothing we can do. We did arrive without a warrant. We were technically trespassing. If he had called the police, we would be in a predicament. we would have been detained immediately. Who would look after Iris then? Do you intend to leave your responsibility with Mizuki and Ota?
Ugh.
Calm down, Date. We still have our lead.
Never!
Lead?
Before I explain,
What?
we need to discuss the corpse in the cold storage warehouse. Let's give her a name. Because she is frozen solid, we could call her All Ice or
Oh my
Alice.
God.
What do you think?
Get out of my house.
Alice and Iris. I believe it fits nicely.
Piss off.
All right,
I
Alice.
hate it.
What about her?
Someone might be able to identify her.
Who?
Allow me to ask you 3 questions.
My name's Iba
Again,
because
please?
I'm an eyeball.
First question. You have seen this corpse more than twice. 3 times, in fact. When was the first time?
In Hitomi's, not Hitomi, Mizuki's Somnium. 3 days ago, Saturday night.
3 days ago. Saturday night when I synced at Abyss.
Yes, in the Somnium world. We saw the frozen corpse of a girl.
In Mizuki's
Question
Somnium.
2. Who is the girl?
Adrian. I mean, I guess Alice.
Now I know. That girl was probably Alice.
Most likely, yes. So we have technically known Alice for 3 days. One last thing. The final question. In which Somnium did we see Alice?
Mizuki's.
My roommate, Mizuki Okiura.
Exactly.
Why do you color your roommate?
You mentioned
It's
something
so
about
dumb.
Mizuki's Somnium being some kind of prophecy. But prophecies are nonsense. Dreams are not made of the future. They are made from the past. Therefore...
She has seen her.
Mizuki has seen Alice before.
there is no other explanation.
Iba, where is Mizuki now?
Where we went with Iris
The
yesterday.
fact that she saw
Maybe a
her
shrine.
in that form, frozen and stabbed.
Shrine. Why would she be there?
Unknown. She is supposed to be looking for Iris.
Okay, let's go.